Welcome to the lesson on distance in the coordinate plane. This should be pretty straightforward if you are solid on solving Pythagorean theorem problems, but I do want to at least briefly discuss what this looks like and how it helps us understand the distance formula as it is used later on in algebra and geometry. So distance is how far apart two objects are. It's always positive. Oops. The reason for this is even if you take 10 steps forward, you still moved 10 steps. You did not go negative 10 steps. Now, a negative piece of information can tell us direction, but when we're talking about distance, we're not concerned with direction. We're concerned about how far it is between two things. So make sure that when you're calculating distance, you're always using positive answers, okay? And distance in the coordinate plane, we're simply going to, for our situation here, when we get to diagonals, we are going to use our Pythagorean theorem. So we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Keep that in mind and make sure to memorize that formula. Now, starting off, we have horizontal and vertical lines. So I have a coordinate plane, and I am simply, when they're horizontal or vertical, going to count how far apart they are. So there's nothing special or particularly intense about this. I am going to count, and I'm going to make sure I'm counting the spaces. Count the spaces, okay? We're not counting the actual particular dots here, so it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there, okay? I'm not counting those. I'm counting how far apart each one is. So I'm going to look at it like this. I have one space, that's 1. 2 spaces, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is 8 units because it's 8 spaces apart. If you count the points, you would have gotten 9, but we're looking at how far apart they are, okay? And then for this vertical one here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to count how far apart they are by the spaces. 1, 2, 3 spaces, so 3 units. So horizontal and vertical lines, we're just going to count. Here's where things get a little more exciting and interesting. We have diagonal lines. So when I have a diagonal line, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my knowledge of right triangles. I'm going to make a right triangle, and I'm going to figure out the distance between these two diagonal lines. These 2 points on the diagonal line. Because I can't just count the spaces. The spaces aren't the same amount each time when we are dealing with a diagonal. So I'm going to make a right triangle. Now you can either do it up and over, or you can go across this way and up towards the top and meet at that right angle. What's really crucial is that it's a straight line that meets at a right angle, vertical and horizontal. Okay? And now I'm going to be able to do my a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? I need to know what my a and b are. So to do that, I'm going to count my spaces again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 units, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. So I'm going to plug that in to my Pythagorean theorem. So I have a and b. I'm always going to be searching for c when it comes to coordinate plane, because a and b, I can simply count them up. So I'm always searching for c. If I'm not searching for c, something went wrong, so make sure you're double checking what's going on if you need to use the Pythagorean theorem. It's entirely possible you just need to count up the spaces depending on what you are trying to find the distance between, okay? So I have 6 squared, and I have 7 squared, because a and b are interchangeable here, and I have c squared, which I don't quite know yet. So I'm going to continue by squaring 6 and 7. So 6 squared is 36. 7 squared is 49. And c squared is still a little bit of a question mark. 36 plus 49, I get 9 plus 6 is 5. Carry the 1, and then I get 85 equals c squared. But I am not done yet because c is not alone. I need to square root c, and if I square root one side, I square root the other. Now, 85 is not a perfect square. It's a little bit higher than 9. So I'm going to make these an approximate situation here. Since it's a little bit higher than 9, I'm going to say like 9.2-ish, roughly. You could also say c is exactly equal to the square root of 85. This is a valid answer, okay? Unless you are specifically told to round. Okay? Unless you are told you have to round, leaving it as the square root of 85 is the most exact answer and therefore perfectly correct and valid. All right, I have 2 problems here. I want you to give it a try. Here I have a horizontal line and we have a diagonal. If you hold on for just a minute, I will change the slide to show you what that triangle looks like for that diagonal. But I encourage you to pause the video now and try it before you take a look at that information. Pause the video now. All right, so if you didn't pause the video or you unpause the video, there is some information because it can be challenging to count those up. I at least wanted to give you the opportunity to take a look at what that triangle would look like. So now that you have looked at finding a diagonal distance between 2 points, you may have noticed a couple of things about solving. So we have c is what we're solving for every time, right? I mentioned that already. So c is equal to a squared plus b squared, right? But if I want to get c isolated, I have to square root c. Okay? So to find the whole value of c, I have to square root all of a squared plus b squared. Notice that a squared plus b squared are kind of inside there, okay? We do have to consider grouping when we're doing our inverse operations. So our SADMEG. And this, a squared plus b squared, since it's all under the square root, is considered grouping, which would be done after the exponent, okay? But how do I find a and b when I'm simply given 2 points, like 3, 2, and -4, 1, for example, okay? I don't know how far apart 3 and -4 and 2 and 1 are. So what I'm going to do to actually solve this when I'm simply given 2 points and find the distance between the two is I'm going to find a by subtracting my x values, 3 minus -4, for example, and then square it like that, okay? And then I'm going to add it to the difference between my y values, okay? Now you can switch the x and the y here. That's not particularly crucial. The only thing that's particularly important is that you are subtracting the same direction. So if I start with this point here, this first point, that I'm subtracting from the second point, okay? And if I do that in the first, with the x values, I need to do the same thing with the y values. So what I'm really doing here is I'm taking the square root of the x from point 1 minus the x from point 2, and then squaring that. And then I'm going to add it to the y from point 1 minus the y from point 2, and squaring that. And this right here is our official distance formula. It's often written with a D instead of a C because we're talking about distance, okay? So this is the formal distance formula that you will use in higher education. So if you ever forget this formula, because it's a little more complicated, right? A little more complex here. If you ever forget this, all you have to do is go back and use Pythagorean Theorem, okay? Just a fun fact for you before you move on with practicing using the distance between 2 coordinates in a plane. Good luck, have fun.